Welcome to another episode of Halftime Adjustments. It's your man Eddie Arnell, my man G Witt.
Tighten up, baby.
Tighten up, baby. Tighten up.
It's that time, baby.
It's that time.
It's that time.
G is it's time for the players over. It's real deal now.
Practice is over. I mean, pretend time is over.
Pretend time is over.
It's now starts up. NFL season starts on Thursday. We play our first game on Sunday, man.
Here come the Browns.
Here come the Browns.
That new vaunted defense up front.
Yeah, that explosive offense they got now with a little added extra piece.
Yeah, a little extra piece. Yeah. A little Taywan Taylor action, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But hey, it's an exciting time.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Football season. It's the real stuff now. Yeah. And it's time to start making it count.
Hey man, we're gonna see what happens now. We've complained about them in the preseason. We just got real upset about how they play and everything. But now it's for real. So let's see what they kept saying. It's just practice. It's just preseason. We get to see now.
No more excuses.
No more excuses.
No more excuses.
It's the real deal. And for a couple of players, they're playing for contracts, man.
Playing for contract year for some big name players.
Some big name players for us.
Mariota won.
Derrick Henry for another.
So
we got a lot to discuss, man. It's going to a lot to cover because a lot going on in the division, man.
There's a lot going on in the AFC South.
It's crazy.
Some big moves,
Yeah.
It's up for grabs, really, if you look at it.
Hey, look, everybody's making moves. I mean, we did some things kind of under the radar and everything, but Houston, man.
I'm
Houston,
telling you,
man.
No GM and people start going crazy.
Man, the coach is the GM now. He's trying to pull a Belichick. It's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out, man. We're standing pat. Vrabel said he's ready. They made a couple of surprising changes, minor surprises changes. I should say nothing major.
Well, yeah, because we talked about last year. Taywan Taylor was on the block for us anyway.
Yeah.
During our discussion, we didn't know if he's gonna make the team or not. It's one of those 6 receivers. We had talked about it for the past couple weeks.
Oh yeah.
And so it's really not a surprise. I'm surprised they traded him.
And I think that because one, they wanted to make sure that he is a 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
So at least get some value for him. And again, trading him. Now everybody's upset about who they traded him to.
Yeah.
And I understand that too. But because I guarantee you the first thing they're gonna do is tell them to run a go route and just see they're gonna test it and everything.
That's
so
right.
we just have to see how it plays out. But hey, tighten up, baby. It's on. It's on.
So besides the Taywan Taylor move, was there any other surprise that you saw in this 53-man roster, the makeup of this roster?
Well, a couple of things. Mm-hmm. One, I would say if there was a bigger surprise, it was they cut Corey Levis.
Yeah, that was a big surprise.
And I'm not surprised. I'm surprised by that, but I think one of the reasons why they cut Corey Levis was because he's really not what you call able to play multiple positions. Mm-hmm. I think he's mainly a center. I think they tried him in the preseason at guard. He did not do very well. So I think that's one of the reasons why they cut him. It's just, for the roster spots, they want to make sure that they got multiple team players who can play multiple positions. Mm-hmm. And Jamil Douglas can play center and guard.
Yep.
Just like Ben Jones can play center and guard. So, and they signed Ben Jones to a 2-year extension.
That's right.
So I think they looked at Corey Levin like, okay, because you're a center and a center only,
mm-hmm.
It kind of hinders the offensive line a little bit because they need players that can play multiple positions due to injuries and everything. So I think that's one of the big deals. And the other one, of course, they kept Correa.
Yeah,
and that one surprised
to our dismay.
Yeah, that one surprised me. But obviously, the depth at outside linebacker is a little thin. And I think one of the things they're looking at is like he is fairly decent against the run, mm-hmm. But as we saw. As far as rushing the quarterback, chasing down runners, I don't know what's wrong with him, but he wasn't able to do anything in the preseason.
When he wants to tackle.
And that's the other thing that bothered me. And if there was anything that really bothered me was the fact that he did not want to tackle anybody.
Right.
And that just bothers me. I mean, you playing defense.
That's right. So I believe if DeAndre Baker's not hurt, he don't make the team.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, there's going to be a lot of things going on. A lot of people are going to get pushed. They did bring back Derek Robinson on the Roberson rather on the practice squad and everything. So they're giving him an opportunity to get up there. But like I said, the thing about it is, it's going to be interesting is the fact that I just don't get keeping Alvin Correa. But I mean, they brought some players back, but again, I guess they're looking at it from the standpoint they didn't see anybody else. And plus, the guy they traded for from Green Bay, he's a converted defensive end, so he's more like a Derek Morgan type player. And he basically is going to be one of those guys that he can probably pretty good at rushing the passer, but you're going to be suffering in pass coverage and everything. That's going to be his issue. So we'll just see how it all works out. But hey, the team is the team. Let's get it on, baby.
Team is a team. So one thing that I know we've got to improve on going into this week 1 matchup with the Browns. We said they've got an elite defensive pass rush.
Yeah.
Added some big pieces during the offseason. 4th most sacks given up last season by this offensive line.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so, as we saw in the preseason, they gave up 12 before the Chicago game.
Right.
And so, that is a spot of concern.
Absolutely.
Especially with Taylor Lewan being out the first 4 games, which is, I'm going to say, which is the centerpiece of that offensive line.
Right. Well, and here's the thing they're going to have to figure out real quick, too, because the bottom line is, when you think about it, they want to run the ball.
Yeah.
Teams know they want to run the ball.
Exactly.
So you got to figure out a way to, with your formations and everything, to create space for Derrick Henry to run the ball.
Right.
Because the bottom line is teams are going to be stacking the box to stop him. So it's going to come down to either he spreads it out, runs a short passing game, does a lot of play action to give and quick passes to open up that middle to give Derrick Henry the room that he needs, or it's going to be a long season because they're going to stack the box like they did with Marcus Mariota when we had the second year we had DeMarco Murray, and he didn't have any lanes because they stacked the box and they challenged Marcus Mariota to beat him.
Right.
So that's going to be the whole key for the situation right now is how they're going to do that. But again, they got opportunities. They got opportunities, man. They got opportunities to do some things. So it's going to, but again, it's going to come down to what our offensive coordinator is going to be able to do.
Yeah.
He's going against, really, when you think about it, 4 good defensive coordinators in the first 4 games. So he's going to have to figure out something in order for us to score points. What we did in preseason doesn't count, and he knows that. He knows that. So it's going to have to be a lot faster and a lot more. I don't know if you simplify it or make it more complex, but something's going to have to happen in order for us to be able to move the ball there downfield consistently and to score.
Right. So one of the questions comes: do we like the Ben Jones extension? If it's the Ben Jones that started off the way he started when he first came in, he was the nasty guy. He was the real aggressive guy in the middle. And last year, I think he got punked a little bit in some of the games. But I did like him at guard when we swapped him up.
But and this is the thing, this is the thing we don't really know because it never got out. Was he struggling because Josh Klein was struggling? He's trying to make up room,
and Quentin Spain,
and Quentin Spain was slow. But the same thing like we saw against Pittsburgh, he struggled and Saffold struggled.
They both
so
struggled, yeah.
So the thing about it is they got to get that corrected. But Ben Jones, he was one of the better pickups that J-Rob made a few years ago, simply because we had no consistency at center.
That's right.
We had nobody that knew how to make line calls and everything.
Right.
So in that regard, I'm not surprised. I'm not upset with the extension. In all honesty, I think what he's looking for, what we may see coming up in the future, is that he draft another offensive guard center, somebody who's going to be a little bit more versatile than, say, Corey Levin was. And they're going to actually take some time to groom him to replace Ben Jones. Because right now, everything you can see is about building the team for the long haul. It's not about immediate returns, not necessarily. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's about building it for the long haul. So signing him to an extension, it makes sense. We just have to wait and see how it all plays out.
Right, and so another question was, what role is Fluetta going to play? He's going to play the H-back fullback.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when he's healthy.
Yeah,
he'll
and that's the question.
There.
We haven't seen him for a while since training camp and everything. And according to what Vrabel was saying, they got most of the team healthy. So if he's healthy and can able to come in and play the role and make the blocks and everything, that's going to make it a lot easier for Marcus, and it's going to make it a lot easier for Derek and Deion Lewis.
Right, and we didn't get to see him in that role in much of the preseason.
At all.
We don't know if he can lead block or not.
Well, it's the same thing that you had happen with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
You don't know if he can. We didn't see Derrick Henry the entire preseason, but people aren't too worried about him after what happened at the end of the season last year. But you think about it, if they can get some good blocking out of Fluellen, that's going to open up some holes for Derrick Henry, give him some room, and all of a sudden, boom, the running game is going. The question is, and what we know, is that most teams really don't use a fullback on a full-time basis.
Right.
And that's always been a problem. But if they could use a fullback on a full-time basis, we might see a revisit of what happened in '99, man, when Lorenzo Neal got here and Eddie George ran for a mile, man, easy.
Man, if that happens.
If that happens, man, I'm all for it.
Look out. Yeah,
I'm all for it because that takes the pressure off of Mariota, takes the pressure off the receiving core, and everybody can just more or less not necessarily relax, but everybody knows what we can do, and they can do their job without any added pressure. They know they're just part of a cog in the machine to try to make the whole offense go.
Right, and so as we look at the roster, is an entirety.
By the way, good job on the roster, man.
Hey, man.
You only missed a couple.
I only missed a couple.
Good job on the roster.
If you missed the show last week, man, we had our roster prediction. And, man, missed like one or two.
He only missed a couple.
Was on top of it.
Yeah, we
did my homework.
You did your homework, man. I had to give you props for that, man. True Titan fans. In the mind of J-Rob, man.
And so, the 4 tight ends is really not a surprise because, Firkster and Pruitt both deserve to be on this roster.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing about it. It was hard to cut either one.
Yeah.
And especially with Jonnu Smith just coming back from injury.
Right.
Basically what you're going to be doing, we'll probably see for a while, Jonnu inactive.
Yeah.
For a while, and Delaney will be starting.
He's not in shape, right?
Yeah. Well, he's in shape, but the bottom line is he's not in game shape.
Game shape, right. That's
so, we'll probably see, Delaney will be starting. You'll see Pruitt and Firkser come in after him, and Firkser will probably be coming in on passing downs, which gives you another pass catcher who's got some good hands, especially on possession downs.
Right.
So. And
then, of course, the biggest surprise was the receiver. The depth chart. So, like I said in the beginning, we both said that Taywan Taylor was on the bubble.
Yeah.
On the bubble.
On the bubble.
We had different opinions on Raymond and Jennings, and so they both stayed. They both stayed. Jennings and Raymond both stayed.
That's the thing that surprised me. Like I guess I'm more slightly. I'll always like Taywan Taylor, because the bottom line is he can take the top off of defense.
That's right, he can.
But his problem was his hands.
Inconsistent.
And a couple of things I think they did a good job on him as far as trading him. Now, I hate that they traded him to the Browns, so we get to see him right away, but I guess they're looking at it from the standpoint, we make the deal, who we make the deal with, we play him. And as much as he knows about the Titans, we know a lot about him.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how they play against him and everything, and they're used to him, so I don't think they're too worried about him. But Taywan Taylor, his problem was inconsistent hands. And you knew he was in trouble in the Pittsburgh game when he didn't get in the game until the third, fourth quarter. Yeah. When you see something like that, and he didn't play at all.
That's right.
Against Chicago.
Yeah.
And of course, the announcers at the Chicago game were saying, "Well, he ain't playing. He must be on the team."
Must be on the team.
Absolutely not.
Boy, we wrong.
Yeah, we were wrong on that. But we did say. Now, I'll be the first one to say I'm a little surprised by Khalif Raymond.
Yeah.
And I've never been what you call a Khalif Raymond fan. Because he made a lot of his plays against second, third, fourth teamers. So granted, football is football.
Football is football.
And the thing about it is he can take the top off of defense. I think he does have some good speed, and his hands are a little bit more sure. Mm-hmm. At least that's what he showed in the preseason.
You definitely got to give him props for his hands. He made some outstanding catches.
He made some tough catches. In traffic and everything. Got clocked a few times.
Yeah, and held on to the ball.
So that's going to be interesting to see how he plays when the real bullets start flying. Everybody was shooting blanks in the preseason.
So that's a great question, and that goes along with Taylor's ask. With Taywan gone, is the receiving corps better or not? So do we have the burner to take the top off the defense?
That's going to be the
Raymond's
question.
got some speed, but does he have the Taywan Taylor speed?
That's going to be the question. And the question is going to be, again, he may have the speed, but is he going to have the hands with the live bullets going?
Right.
It's a whole different ball game when you're playing preseason. Even though you may get hit, But he's played. You think about his play. He didn't play with the ones or against the ones. He played mostly against the twos and the three. Now, granted, it's NFL football.
NFL football.
So players are players. It doesn't matter. But the bottom line is, when you get in the real game, and trust me, preseason speed is more like college speed. Mm-hmm. Just for anybody who don't understand about the preseason, it's more like college speed. That's why you see a lot of draft picks in the preseason play well, but then they get into the regular season, they kind of fizzle out because the speed of the game picks up a notch. Yep. It's the same way with playoff. Playoff speed is faster than regular season speed. So you play at these different levels. So it's going to be interesting to see how Kalif Raymond plays at regular season speed. That's going to be the question. So, in all honesty, Taylor, I don't know. You got to remember the top of the line is always going to be this. You got Corey Davis, you got Tajay Sharp, you got Adam Humphries, and you got AJ Brown. AJ Brown's a rookie who's got to get used to the speed of the game as well. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see. So basically, you got 3 receivers. Now, granted, the one issue you got with them is that they're all really possession receivers. Yeah. They're all really possession receivers. Then you got Delaney Walker. So it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out. We might be a little bit, I think, more conservative on offense than what most people are going to like. I think, I could be totally wrong. But with what we got right now, really the one person you can depend on as far as taking the ball deep and making sure they catch the ball is going to be Corey Davis.
Yeah, Corey Davis. Good point, Deion. He ran a 4.34 in his 40, so does that equate to his game speed? Could. We don't know. We
don't know. We'll see.
But, he kind of reminds me, and I know he's not the same route runner, but he's kind of like an Adam Humphries type build. Yeah. That type of guy. Yeah. He got more speed, but his feet aren't as good, I'm going to say.
No,
his route running is not
we
as
saw
good.
That at camp. Now, Adam Humphries has elite feet. Yeah. That's the good thing about him. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play with all these weapons and everything that they got on here. So it's going to be interesting to watch and see how that. But like I said, to say whether they're better right now, honestly, I can't really say.
Yeah, we won't know. We won't know until we see.
They got Darius Jennings, so he's going to see some time on the playing field, both as kickoff returner and as a receiver. Right. He may get in the game before Kalif Raymond will. So it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out.
Yeah, and good point, Chris. You're right. If J-Rob gets wrong, he admits it. He lets him walk. It's not a big deal.
No.
I mean, he learned that from the best, right? When the Patriots let people go, they let people go, and they find somebody.
And that's the thing about it. People make a big deal about whether you're letting go a 3rd round pick, or a 3rd round pick doesn't work out, or a 2nd round pick doesn't work out. Look, it's not an exact science. When you're doing draft picks, you don't always get it right.
That's right.
But what you want to do is get it right more often than you get it wrong.
That's exactly right.
And right now, what we can honestly say is that the talent on this team is the best it's been in a long time. The question is, can it all come together to be consistent in the league Sunday after Sunday?
That's what you got to see.
And that's what we got to see.
Some consistency. No up and down like it was last
well, yeah. I mean, I think, and here's my thinking about it, and in all honesty, I think last year they really learned a lesson.
They did.
Because, you had the big win against Philly. You would have thought we were going to the Super Bowl.
8-4. Yeah. We was 8-4 one time.
Yeah, you would have thought we were going to the Super Bowl when they celebrated after that win. Man. But then you go and you can't do anything against Buffalo. Right. Could have won the game, but you had receivers dropping passes. Yeah. And then you go to England. You can't beat put it like this: after Buffalo, you give up 11 sacks to Baltimore, and then you go to England and you give up long touchdown plays to the Chargers.
Back to back on the same coverage,
and still had a chance to win the game on a 2-point conversion, but called the wrong play. Yeah. So the question is going to be from the coaching staff to the players: can they be consistent? Can they be the same team week in and week out and winning ball games? That's going to be the main concern.
And winning the close ball games, right? You got to be able to win the close ball games. You got to be able to make the plays down the stretch.
Yeah, and they have shown they can win close ball games. Mm-hmm. They've shown that, but the bottom line is, can you do consistent work? Quarter after quarter. Let's look at it from that first quarter, second quarter, third. Because the team
that's right.
is notorious, has always been notorious the past few years for starting slow.
Always.
They always talk about we want to start fast, but they always end up taking about 2 to 3 series to get going. And then once for the offense, once they get going, it's different. Yeah. Now, defensively, I'm going to say it like this. Defensively, I think we're ready to go.
I think so.
In all honesty, your second year in the system with Dean Pease, you got a guy who knows how to call plays, knows how to manage defenses to play against certain teams. So it's going to be interesting. The thing we just realized is the same thing we realized last year. We need Dean Pease there for all 16 games.
Need him there all 16 games.
Need him there for all 16 games. Now, granted, I'm talking about his health and everything, but we need him there for all 16 games because the man, he knows defense. He can make, and he makes a great adjustments. The games we were getting killed on. I mean, think about it like this.
Halftime, man, it's like it was a different ball game.
Think about it like this. We played the Colts in the last game. They jumped on us 14-0 like it wasn't anything. All of a sudden, we get a pick six and we get a sack, and all of a sudden the game gets turned around.
That's exactly right.
And if we didn't have a quarterback who panic throws to triple coverage with no blue jerseys in sight, we may have a chance of winning that game. But that's neither here nor there. That's last year. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But we know that Dean Pease can really manipulate his defense.
Speaking of Blaine Gabbert, his little brother plays for Miami, Ohio. Played last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my nephew's up there. Just shout out.
Shout out to Miami, Ohio.
But anyway, so receivers, like I said, it was some questions going in and some results that we didn't expect somewhat. And so what about running back? So that was a surprise for us because at least – no, we both said McNichols will probably make the team. If so, it'll be special teams.
Yeah.
But they kept Dalen Dawkins.
Yeah.
And, we kind of talked about this earlier today before the show, that he is a similar mold of Deion Lewis. He can catch, he can run, and he's got a little bit more speed than Jeremy
He definitely got a lot more speed than Jeremy McNichols.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Just remember this quote from Mike Vrabel after the preseason game against Philly when he had that 30-yard run.
Yeah.
And Mike Vrabel said it like this. He got the minimum yards he could get out of that play.
That's right.
Not the maximum.
That's the minimum.
But the minimum. So that lets you know that you saw in that game, he had a couple of wide open lanes, but you find out that he cannot break away from anybody. That's the problem. He's a good blocker. He's good catching the ball out of the backfield, but he has no speed, whereas Dalen Dawkins can do both of those things, and he has speed. And he's been hurt, and I think what they saw in that last preseason game is what solidified his spot. He just won it.
He ran hard.
He ran hard and caught the ball, caught the game-winning touchdown and everything. So I think that's what you see out of him. And that was a surprise. I forgot about that. That was a surprise.
Yeah.
But, hey, he's got the pedigree, too.
He's got the pedigree.
He got the pedigree, so he knows the game.
He got some good stock, right?
Yeah.
Hall of Fame. So, guys, again, thank you for joining us for another episode of Halftime Adjustments. Eddie Arnell, G. Witt.
Tighten up, baby.
Tighten up.
Tighten
Talking
up.
about this 53-man roster, and so it begins. Another episode. So the offensive line, we kind of talked about that. Corey Levin was the big surprise there. They kept Queensberry and Jamil Douglas. But other than that, 8 linemen, so the depth is there. So here's the question, Grover. Here's the question.
Okay.
So Taylor Lewan is gone.
4 games.
4 games.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Simmons is actually counting a roster spot on his football team. So who has to be removed from his team when Taylor comes back?
I don't know.
Because we're at 53 now because Jeffrey Simmons has got a spot on this team. He's not on the IR. He's not on the PUP list.
Nah, he's on the non-football injury list. So he's out for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Then they get to try him out, practice for 3 weeks before they make a decision whether to put him on IR or whether to activate him.
But after 4 weeks, somebody has got to be moving out this football team.
Well, I would say this. If you see that happen, I would say probably, to me, Carrera will be the one.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Carrera will be the one.
That's interesting right there. Yeah, Carrera.
It's going to be – because, again, he hasn't shown me anything.
You're exactly right. He hasn't shown
me anything.
With that being said, so let's talk about Jeffrey Simmons because that's an interesting move. We've been hearing a lot of stuff out. We was hoping that he would get back, later in the season, but man, all indications right now is that this cat might come back in 6 weeks.
It's possible, man.
And just think about it. If he's able to do that, man, give him about 2, 3 games, 4 games to get ready, to get in game shape. Man, what does that do to this defense?
It opens it up,
man. I'm gonna tell you,
because you got a guy that's really, in all honesty, that's going to command. He'll command a double team.
He'll command a double team. Once he gets his feet up under him and everything, he'll command a double team. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that's the thing you like about him. If he shows what he showed at Mississippi State. Yeah, he was just
he was just disruptive. He was just a grown man around boys.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, you see him. He's a big 300 plus guy. And got good feet, quick moves, and everything. Knows how to get to the quarterback. So If he comes back early, I would say if the defense is rolling, he's just going to have to. He's not going to start.
No,
but they're going to work him in.
Yeah,
and that's going to be the key. If he gets to the point to where we get to the point to where he gets more comfortable with the game and with the speed of the game,
come playoff time, it's going to be
ugly. Dude, it could be ugly for other teams, man.
I'm gonna tell you,
it could be ugly for other teams. And I'm talking about somebody who's going to take a lot of pressure off of Jarrell Casey.
And not only that, let's continue to talk about defensive line. So we're talking about Isaiah Mack.
We called that one.
Called it last week, man. This guy was a playmaker during camp. During preseason, he deserved the spot on this football team.
And it's going to be interesting to see how they play him because, again, how he's going to acclimate himself to the regular season speed.
That's
going to be the key. It's a whole different ballgame. It's a lot more aggressive.
Right. Again, like you said about Khalif Raymond, he was playing against 2s, 3s. What happens when he goes against the number one offense?
Yeah, absolutely.
And those linemen and
those linemen who know how to use their hands. Knows how to manipulate his rush. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah. He's a baller.
Yeah.
He's a baller. He's going to learn, and they're going to have to get him to baptism by fire. But he also, he's going to take his lumps. He's going to take his bruises.
Yeah.
But he's also going to be able to, he's going to make plays every now and then.
Right.
And that's the thing you like about him. He's shown that ability to make plays. He plays the run well, and he knows how to get to the quarterback. So that's what you like about him.
Some good depth on defensive line. I really like, Matt Dickinson makes the team again. Really like the additions with Isaiah Mack to this defense.
Absolutely.
Along with
Daquan Jones
come back being healthy. And then you got the linebacking core. Really no changes there. Really nothing surprising. David Long Jr. was going to make the team. He's been all over the field. And Bates makes the team because of special teams.
And here's the thing. now you're going with a young linebacking core because Rashad Evans is going to start before Wesley Woodyard.
Yeah.
And, and I understand that. I mean, Wesley Woodyard gives you his value in his leadership and everything. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is, I mean, we saw last year the Rashad Evans was making headway and starting to come into his own. So it's going to be interesting to see how he actually does this year, starting off from the beginning. Him and Jayon Brown.
Yeah, and then you couple that with Harold Landry and Sharif Finch on the edge, and so got a good young core of linebackers that'll be around here for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man, to see how they come together. Like I said, if they can start to gel. At least through the first month of the year, if they start really to gel and everything, we could see really good, solid, and I'm going to say dominant defense.
Yeah, I agree.
And defense wins championships. I don't care what anybody say.
Joshua Kaluk makes the team too, man. How about that? He was here for a little bit last season.
Yeah. That one kind of surprised me a little bit, but he did make some good plays and everything, and he provides some good depth. And of course, he plays special teams.
He does.
So that's the good thing about it. But again, you see a lot of things happening. You see that Kenneth Durden didn't make the team.
Yeah,
he got cut.
I don't think he deserved it, man. His preseason was horrible. He was getting toasted. He was getting toasted. What do you mean? No, James Washington with Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, he got
ran right by him.
Oh, don't get me wrong. He was supposed to be gone. And remember, in case y'all don't remember, the San Diego game the Los Angeles Chargers. When they came out in the third quarter, he was the one that gave up the long touchdown after they made the adjustment. And I will tell you this, and I was at the game, and I was behind the bench, and I have never seen Kevin Byard so ticked off. I mean, the coach, the DB coach, Coombs couldn't even get him to come over. He was so mad. Yeah. Because he couldn't believe it that he gave up that long pass play. So I knew then, I'm like, with him giving up touchdowns and everything on this one, he wasn't going to make it.
Nah, he wasn't going to make it. And speaking of the secondary, so, of course we got Logan Ryan, Sims, Ty Smith, talk about him making the team this year.
Yeah.
He played real solid last couple of years and he got hurt,
Yeah.
And good question, Taylor, where's the competition still going on team? Who sits first? I think if you really look at it, beyond Logan Ryan, Malcolm Butler, and Adoree', well, Sims has got the next spot. So it's really no competition there for those guys. They'll be coming in. They'll be mostly special teams outside of those four.
Here's what I think you're going to start seeing, really. Hooker.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Hooker.
I agree.
I agree. The question is going to be how much we see him on the field. It's well known that Dean Pease like to run a 3-safety package. Yeah. And Hooker has shown that he can get out there and play again. You're talking about a rookie having to get used to regular season speed, so it's going to be interesting to see how he comes on it.
It's another level.
But He can play. He's a smart guy, smart football guy. Knows the system very well. Caught on as a natural leader on the field. So it's going to be interesting to see how he comes along. But as far as competition on the team is concerned, really, the only place I see competition, for lack of a better term, probably is at running back. And the only reason I say that because we want Derrick Henry to be the Derrick Henry of last year in November and December. But if he's not, they're going to go with Deion Lewis. And he don't strike
the running game
fear.
is not effective.
And the running game and the play action pass is not effective with Deion Lewis. I'm sorry, but it's just not.
It's not. But yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I still see the competition a little bit more in the receiver as far as who's going to be the fourth receiver when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
I mean, and then where's the ball going to go in tight situations? If Delaney's covered, is he going to go to Corey Davis? Is he going to Adam Humphrey? He got the repertoire with Adam doing all season.
Well, here's the thing about it, and you just said something that's really unique. You said who's he going to go to?
He got plenty.
So that means he's got options.
That's right. He's got plenty.
Think about the past couple of years. Our question of who he's going to go to was either Delaney Walker or Rashard Matthews.
Yep.
So now you look at who's he going to go to. If Delaney Walker's covered, he's got Ryan Humphreys, he's got Corey Davis, he's got Tajay Sharp. It's going to be interesting to see, and it's going to be interesting to see how A.J. Brown acclimates himself to the game. He's going to play.
He's definitely going to play.
He's going to play because they know if you ever see this guy up close, I mean, this guy's huge, man. And I still say between him and DK Metcalf, we got the better receiver.
I think so too, man. It's because of the routes alone. Route running alone. And hands.
But he learned a hard lesson, again, like I said, against Pittsburgh. You gotta run your routes, and the speed of the game doesn't slow down, man. So, you don't just beat them on your talent. You got to beat them to the spot.
You got to beat them to the spot. So that's the 53, man. A few surprises here and there, not many. But I think overall we got some good talent to make a push for the playoff this year.
Well, we got who we got.
And
it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out because that's who it is. We're getting ready to get started. Starting off on the road, you figure we start the first 3 games, only 1 home game, 3 games on the road.
Yeah.
The second week, the season, we play both Indianapolis and Jacksonville. So it's going to be rough.
So, Taylor, that's a good question. Marcus got a long leash or a short leash or no leash at all?
Personally, I think he has no leash at all.
You know what? And I'm going to agree with you.
Yeah.
Only because he's the quarterback.
Yeah.
He's the quarterback for this team. They've made it known.
Yeah.
There's no competition. Unless he gets hurt.
Yeah, that's the only way.
I don't see Tannehill playing.
That's the only way.
Unless he just goes out there and just blows it up to where, he can't complete a pass. He's overthrowing picks, making bad decisions, whatever.
Yeah, that'll do it every time.
Yeah. I agree with you, Deion. A.J. Brown could, hey, I'm going to tell you, Grover's going to argue that point because he's a Tajay guy, man. Tajay's a great route runner.
But here's the thing about it, and don't get me wrong, I like A.J. Brown, I really do. I think he's going to be a great asset for the team. But again, I say, I don't know if he's going to bypass Tajay in playing time. He may.
Yeah.
I know they would prefer for him to because that's another big target.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
With wide receiver speed.
Yeah.
So you talking about, 6'3" can run the 40 or 4.45. Come on now.
Yeah.
That's good speed. So you want him to be a big target. You want him to overtake him, but you just can't say how's he gonna do.
And I don't think you go wrong either way though. But still, you got to remember this too. A.J. Brown only played 1 preseason game.
That's it. So, he actually played 2.
Well, 2. Yeah, he didn't play much. No, I'm sorry.
He didn't
play much. That's how much he played. I didn't, forgot he played a couple plays.
Yeah.
But anyway. So he's got to still get caught up to the game speed, the real speed of the game.
Absolutely.
The real coverages, when people are pressing him, is he going to be able to get off? Is he going to be able to read the too high safety? Is he going to be able to read the zone cut? So it's a lot to for a rookie to adjust. The receivers are just like the quarterback.
Yeah,
they got to read the
They got to read the defense and everything, and it's tough. It's tough for a young receiver to learn that. But what he needs to do more than anything else is learn how to run his routes.
Yeah, learn
how to run his routes.
So man, let's look at the action that's been going on in the AFC South. So the Texans, just all over the board, right? All over the board. They trade Clowney to the Seahawks. They bring in Carlos Hyde to back up Duke Johnson because, of course, they lost Lamar Miller, the ACL. They also bring in Kenny Stills as a receiver to go along with Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins. So that boosts that receiving core.
Right.
And they made an addition to the offensive line with Laramie Tunsil from the Dolphins.
Right.
What was a highly talented lineman coming out of college. And so out of Ole Miss, and so I guess they are making up for the lack of the draft they had this offseason. But a lot of moves in this division with a lot of eyebrows raised.
Well, here's a reason why you have a lot of eyebrows raised. In all honesty, they gave up a lot.
They did.
Those were some expensive moves that they made.
Yeah,
and the bottom line is right now they're in a win now mode.
Yeah.
You traded away Jadeveon Clowney. Mm-hmm. Now, me personally, I got no problem with you letting Jadeveon Clowney go. Mm-hmm. Although I know he's a great pass rusher. He's been to the Pro Bowls 3 years in a row and everything. But Jadeveon is one of those guys who I always felt like was still inconsistent. Mm-hmm. I think he can play, but I always thought he was inconsistent. Mm-hmm. But he makes a lot of good splash plays. The man's fast. You can't deny the talent there. Yeah. And I think he'll probably play good because Bobby Wagner's not going to let him take a play off.
I don't know. Definitely
Bobby Wagner ain't going to let him. So Bobby Wagner will get in his face and let him know.
Yeah.
So he's going to a good defensive team and everything. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays. Luckily, we don't have to see him this year. So we're in good shape there. But it cost Houston quite a bit. They gave up a lot of draft picks for the deals that they made. Tunzel and Kenny Stills from the Dolphins. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it gives them another receiver. Actually, it gives them another consistent receiver because Will Fuller is known to get hurt. So that's the only thing you know about him. So that's going to be hard for them to make it up. Yeah, I agree. It seems like panic mode because I think O'Brien is under pressure to win because he's only won one playoff game out of 4. Mm-hmm. So he's under pressure to win, and they've made a lot of moves. They cost them a lot of money. And I still have yet to figure out how they're still making it, man. It's crazy. But, they still got plenty of talent, though. And like I said earlier today, Romeo Crennel is still calling the defense. Sorry.
He's one of the best.
He's one of the best in the league. Him, Wade Phillips, Dean Pease, all of these are outstanding DCs, man. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play. But, yeah, I think he'll get a lot out of Bartavius Mingo. He'll put him back in his natural position, which is outside linebackers, and not have him on the defensive line. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think he tried the defensive line in Seattle, and he just couldn't make that conversion. And I think it's simply because he's just too light.
Yeah,
he just doesn't have the strength.
And so is Brissett the one in Indy? Yeah, he is right now. They did bring in Brandon Wheaton, Brock Osweiler, and Matt Council. To addition for
but they didn't sign him.
They didn't sign him. They brought him in. So he's gonna be the guy.
No, Brissett is the man.
Yeah, he's the man.
Right now, they're looking for backups for him. Because really they only have one viable backup right now. So they're looking for a consistent backup for him, and they would like to have a veteran backup is what they have, and that's what they're going to be looking for because they brought in Matt Castle, they grasped at straws, man, because that man has no arm strength. Right. So, but Jacoby Brissett is going to be the man at Indy. Indy's still going to be good.
Indy's going to be tough.
Indy's going to be tough.
They got a lot of talent.
If you think Indy's not going to be tough because Andrew Luck is not there, you're wrong. Brissett is no Andrew Luck. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm not even putting him on that level.
Right.
But he is a solid quarterback. And when we played against them, the year that Andrew Luck set out, he played, and he didn't have the talent that he has now.
Right.
And he balled out, man. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to have to stop the run. We're going to definitely pay better on the outside with the receivers and everything because, man, they've been burning us up with their receivers for the longest. So we got to do so. It's going to be a lot to work with. So it's going to be interesting. But Indianapolis, that defense is still solid.
Yeah.
So, our question is going to be what we saw we could do against Indianapolis last year in that last game. We can run the ball on them. So the question is going to be running the ball.
Running the ball, and a good point, Deion. The Texans, they only got the one good offensive lineman, Tunsil, and because Deshaun Watson got beat up last year. They gave him many sacks as we did, just about even more. He
got sacked more.
More
Marcus got sacked. I think they said it was a total of 42 times.
62.
He got sacked
for him.
62.
Yeah,
and that's coaching malpractice as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Letting your quarterback get
bring the body bag out, get the man off the field.
You're gonna have him like David Carr, man. He's gonna be looking around, and you ain't gonna be able to do anything with him. You're gonna run him.
He gonna have those happy feet, man.
Yeah, he can't do anything.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. 62 times for Deshaun. So as we move on to week 1, the Cleveland Browns, man. I mean, this defensive front is is the concern for me because the left tackle position is the big question.
Well, let's not forget one other team in the division, man. I know we talked about Houston and Indianapolis, but you got to talk about Jacksonville.
You got to talk about Jacksonville. If you looked at into their defense in the preseason, man, like they was ready to go.
Oh yeah, you know the defense is going to be solid. That's
Josh
just,
Allen is the man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
That's just it. I mean, the defense is going to be good. Khalil Campbell is still there.
Yeah.
You know, Jalen Ramsey is still there. So you know they're going to be balling and everything. The question is going to be the offense. They took a hit because they had to put Alfred Blue on IR. You know, right now they only have Leonard Fournette.
That's it.
And we know that when you start tagging Leonard Fournette, he doesn't really want to run.
Mm-mm.
So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out and everything. So it's going to be Jacksonville. Nick Foles, we're going to find out what he's made of. You got to remember that, you know, the Pretty drafted him in when he was in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's got talent and everything. You know, he just ended up playing good for Philly. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays with Jacksonville. Is he going to be the same guy that can lead a team, or is he going to be inconsistent? That's going to be the main thing.
Yeah, I definitely think they're better with Nick Foles.
Oh, absolutely.
He is a big upgrade.
Over Blaine Gabbert?
Not Blaine Gabbert.
Bowles.
Yeah, and so...
I can't even remember his name.
I can't remember his name either, man. That's how important he was.
Bortles, that's his name.
Bortles, yeah, Blake Bortles.
Bortles. We got it, man.
Yeah.
We got it.
And so, you know, they got a rookie starter right tackle, Jawan Taylor from Florida.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they addressed their offensive line as either, because their offensive line was the weak part of their team last year.
Yeah.
And got Bortles beat up.
Yeah.
And Nick Foles, you know, they bring in the read option, the RPOs, and the spread. And so we'll see what happens. But you're right. They're still there. It's not. It's going to be tough. The defense is still solid. And we'll see. It's going to be a tough game.
Like I said, there's no
still no gimme games in the division.
It never has been, really, when you think about it. But the bottom line is, it's going to be we cannot afford to have the inconsistent play like we've had for the past 3 years.
That's right.
We got to pick it up. We got to be consistent. And they know that, and that's what Vrabel is preaching to the team. We got to be consistent. We got to continue to make plays, game in, game out, quarter in, quarter out. 4 quarters a game, we got to make plays and beat these teams.
You're exactly right. So as we focus our attention over to the Browns, so you know Baker Mayfield coming off a 3,700-yard season.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb at almost 1,000-yard back. You got Landry almost had 1,000-yard receiving. They add Odell Beckham.
OBJ, yeah.
You know, to go with that, they add Taywan Taylor. How much ever that's going to prove out, we'll see. And so a pretty solid football team, young football team, hungry football team. Almost made the playoffs last year, one game away.
One game away.
So they are hungry, ready to go, and it's going to be a tough matchup at the Dog Pound.
It really is. I mean, you got to think about it. You know, they are very high on Blake on the quarterback, and he's taking the leadership role by storm. Mm-hmm. His teammates are having to calm him down because he's got to understand, you know, his comments that he makes,
right.
How it affects things and all that. But Baker Mayfield, man, he's going to do a good job. He can throw the rock. Bottom line, he can throw the rock.
Oh yeah, he can.
So let's be real about it. Our job, we got to get a pass rush on him to slow him down. We got to stop the run first, which I would say in the preseason, that's one thing we noticed. We are stopping the run better than what we did last year. Mm-hmm. But we're going to have to stop the run, and we got to get that pass rush on him because you give Blake Bortles time with his arm strength, he can make the plays. Granted, he's short, but he's similar to Drew Brees. He finds the openings in the line, he runs out, finds the lanes, and he can throw the ball. He can throw the rock, man. Bottom line, I got to give him his prop.
And like you said, he's mobile. He can get out of the pocket. He can get out of trouble.
Yeah.
And he can throw the rock.
Yeah.
And he got people to throw it to.
Yeah.
You got Njoku at tight end, and then like I said, you got Landry and Beckham on the outside. And you got the speed with Taywan Taylor on the field once he gets accustomed to that offense. So
I mean A.J. Brown, man. Taywan Taylor's gone.
Yeah, I'm saying for the Browns.
For the Browns.
Yeah, and so
I don't expect much out of him the first week, in all honesty.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, if we see him, he'll probably be running go routes. So, I mean, that's going to be something that is going to be, you know, you'll see somebody like maybe an Adoree Jackson on him who can match him speed for speed.
Mm-hmm. So you got a interesting matchup. You got Myles Garrett coming off a 13.5-year sack season, and Olivia Verna 7 sacks. So you got some guys that can get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Ogunjobi, he had 4 sacks. So Sheldon Richardson, a new pickup this year on that defensive front. They run a 4-3. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough football game.
And what you got to understand too, they got a good DC. Wilkes is a good DC.
Yeah.
He did a great job. I think he was in Carolina. Mm-hmm. He did a great job there. And if you think about it, even when he was in Arizona last year, The offense wasn't that great, but the defense was good.
The defense was
so you
really
know
good.
he's a good defensive coordinator, and he's going to have them playing. He's got them playing through the preseason, but again, I think it may come down to a defensive battle, and again, it's going to come down to us being able to run the ball.
Right.
Our bottom line is we this offense is built for running the ball, and that's what we got to look at. We got to be able to run the ball and be consistent running the ball, because if we're not, it's going to be some long games, man. We're going to struggle.
You're right, and they got Denzel Ward in the secondary coming off a solid rookie campaign at Ohio State cornerback.
Yep.
Greedy Williams they picked up from LSU in the draft, and so we don't know how much he's not listed first on the depth chart right now. But again, a guy with some speed that's got some good man coverage skills. And you got Terrence Mitchell. He came off a rookie season. So the secondary is young, but they play some good football.
They play some good
plays in last year. So they come back in year 2, right? New defensive coordinator, and so it's going to be interesting to see, man. It's going to be a good football game.
It's going to be a good chess match. Again, we're gonna find out what Arthur Smith is made of.
Yeah.
Because like I said, in these first few games, he's going to get some great DCs, and he's going to have to figure something out. Now, the thing I liked about him was. After we said he ran similar like a Whisenhunt offense against Pittsburgh, he actually ran a pretty good offense against the Bears, something different.
He did.
And I thought it was the play calling was a lot better and everything. But again, we're talking about the speed of the game. It's going to speed up for him as well.
Yeah.
So I fully expect, to hear the stories of him getting ready for his first regular season game, probably over in the corner, throwing up his guts, and then coming out there and just like, let's call the game.
Let's call the game.
So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, it's on. We're only a week away. Odell Beckham's going to test our secondary. Oh, yeah. Well,
he's going to challenge us. Adore is going to have his work cut out for him.
Malcolm
Butler.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
And as we found out, really, we don't play zone very well. So it's going to be interesting to see how all that plays out. But it's a lot going on, man, in this division. There's a lot going on in the NFL. So Cleveland's feeling good about themselves. And they're the, for lack of better terms, they are the glory kids for this season.
That's right. They are who we thought they were.
Yeah, everybody's waiting on them. That's why they got the national game, because everybody is happy about seeing them. They think they're going to go all the way. Baker Mayfield already said this train is rolling, either get on or get off. So, it's going to be interesting. But, hey, Marcus has to come ready to play. Derrick Henry has to come ready to play. The offensive line has to come ready to play. It's amazing that we're not overly concerned about the defense, but they have got to be ready, too, because the challenge is on them to stop that offense, man. They got to stop them.
Got to stop the offense. Got to tackle. Got to play assignment football.
Yeah.
Do your job.
Right. And hit when you need to hit.
But it all starts with Mariota.
Yeah.
It starts with Mariota. Yeah. Somebody mentioned it earlier. It's got to be Mariota leading the pack.
Yeah.
Getting these guys ready to go.
And like we said, it ain't about him getting up in front of anybody, yelling at them and everything. But
by the way you play.
By the way he's going to play.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is he's going to get in front of some of the guys' faces. Look, make your blocks.
He's got to tell them.
He's got to tell them, offensive line, make your blocks.
Catch the ball.
Yeah.
Run the right route.
Yeah. Catch the ball. Quit being lazy in your routes, man. Come on. Marcus is just, not everybody is mean as Tom Brady. Right. Tom Brady is just one mean quarterback.
Yeah.
He's just going to be out there fighting the whole time, and he's going to get on everybody else on the sideline, because his bottom line is he wants to win. Marcus wants to win, but Marcus is a nice guy. But, it's good to be nice off the field, but you got to be real on the field, man. It's time to bring it. It's time to bring it. And this team is going to have to bring it.
Hey.
I mean, we're not talking 9-7.
No.
We're talking playoffs.
We're talking playoffs this
year.
So,
they're going to have to bring it. I don't even care about the slogan good to great. They just got to bring it every week. Week in, week out. Be consistent. And I'm not talking about being consistent playing sloppy football.
No.
I'm talking about being consistent playing winning football. Let's get it on, baby.
Making plays. And when you got them down, keep stepping on their throat. Pressing the action.
Don't ease up.
Don't ease up.
There's no such thing as easing up. No, don't feel sorry for nobody.
Oh, come on, Howard. See, Howard, I was liking you at first. Now you want to say something like that. Tannehill will be the quarterback at the end of the game.
Are y'all hoping Mariota get hurt? Is that what they're saying? Because if Mariota isn't hurt and he's playing good, Tannehill won't see the field. I can tell you that now, except for maybe the victory formation.
He will take a knee.
He'll take a knee. That'll be about it. But I'm just telling Yeah,
We'll see.
We'll see. But no, Mariota's going to start. Mariota's going to be the one leading the team. Yeah. Again, like I said, people talk about it on the outside because Tannehill looks, as far as form and everything, yeah, he looks better playing the quarterback position. But Marcus Mariota, by the virtue of his play for the past few seasons, he's the undisputed leader of this team. Like I said, all he needs to do now is really just start getting in people's face and tell them, look, man, I need you to block.
Yeah,
if you block, we're going to win.
My man don't catch no balls.
No, we ain't talking that.
No,
we ain't talking that this year. We found that out. That was a lie last year. So they're just going to play solid defense this year.
Guys, we appreciate you joining us tonight. The comments, the questions, support, Eddie Arnell, G-Wit, halftime adjustments. Got a week away from the real football. Actually, it starts Thursday night, but the Titans play Sunday, of course, against the Browns at the Dog Pound.
At the Dog Pound, man. It's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy.
But it's going to be fun. But, like I said, I think we can win.
22 said he's going to be ready.
Yeah.
And I hope he is.
And if Fluellen is ready to go, our running game might be on point.
Running game will be on point. So, guys, again, thank you for joining us. We'll see. Hey, man, I'm pumped too, Chris. I got the goosebumps going.
Yeah, we're ready, man. It's tighten up, baby. It's time to go.
Tighten up. It's ready to go.
Time to go.
It's time for that playoff push.
Yeah, we got to go, man, because, got to bring it back. We got to play.
That's right. We got to play.
It's time to hit it.
It's time to hit it.
Defense has got to do their job. Offense has got to do their job.
Howard, man, we not talking about that.
Come on, Howard, man, you know better than this, man. We're not talking. I'm gonna say none. That'll make you feel better, man.
Zero.
Your
answer.
Now, I'm gonna say that since you're gonna ask that question. Zero. He's not gonna get sacked at all.
Nah, Howard, we're good, man. We appreciate you coming in and joining us.
I can't believe Howard's doing that to us, man.
Hey, it's halftime adjustments. We'll be back with you next Sunday night at 7 p.m. Join us. Come back. Sit back, relax.
We'll talk about the game. We'll talk about that victory at the Dog Pound, baby.
And how Mariota had a great game.
That's exactly right.
Hey, man. Eddie Arnell, G-Wit, halftime adjustments. Join us again next week. Peace.
Check us out on YouTube, baby.
YouTube, man. /.